did human trafficking. Social justice. What is social justice? Social justice is based on people fighting for something they believe in. Individuals have been battling for their rights, for freedom and equality by forming a unification of people who work together to build their staircase towards freedom and equality. Um, Examples of social justice: fight against racism, fight against sexism, fight against human and sex trafficking. Some powerful social justice quotes. Social justice will not be served until those unaffected are outraged as those who are, by Benjamin Franklin. And if I cannot change when circumstances demand it, how can I expect others to? By Nelson Mandela.
So one of our trafficking survivors was a girl named Carla Jacinto, who was tricked into human trafficking. Her home life was rough, and she fell into a man who took her in and gave her a home. He then turned out to be a procurer and then told Carla that she had to see clients. She would work from 10 a.m. to midnight, 20 customers per day, with many of them laughing at her because she would cry. She was shuffled from brothels, roadside motels, streets, and even homes, beaten with a chain, punched, and kicked. Carla ended up giving birth to a baby girl at the age of 15, but she was taken by the pimp, and Carla was told that she couldn't see her child until she was more than 1 year old. She was then saved by the police, but the police made them pose for pictures and humiliated them. Carla was finally rescued in 2008 and is now fighting against human trafficking. One powerful quote by Nelson Mandela is, "During my lifetime, I have dedicated myself to the struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve, but if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die for."
Art analysis. These two pieces of artwork really depict the reality of the young girls who are thrown into sex/human trafficking industry. They're trapped, beaten, lived in a prison where they work for a master. They're treated brutally, and many look away so they don't have to accept the fact that it's a huge problem in the world. The people that stand together and fight against human trafficking are the real heroes, because they are showing ways in which we can as people make an impact on the world and prevent these situations from happening. From neighborhood protectors to online sources, these are the people that help fight against brutalities that young girls face and protect others from experiencing the pain.
So our poem is called Slavery of the 21st Century. Our outside reading book was called Sold, and basically the book is about a young girl named Lakshmi who loves her impoverished mountain village in Patricia McCormick's novel. Although Lakshmi's family is too poor to buy more tin to keep the rain from flooding into their hut, and although she has no shoes and is nearly starving in the hard months, mixing soil with a meager broth to thicken it up, she is a bright student. Lakshmi loves her life with the exception of a greedy gambling stepfather that would rather contribute to feeding the family and working to prevent flooding to their rice crop in the wet months. He is at the tea house, gambling away whatever the family has. Her stepfather then sells her to the traffickers for money to pay off his gambling debts. And within the book, in the months of living in the happiness house, Lakshmi was hurt in many ways. Mumtaz, who was the leader, was the main factor of her pain. She would torture her and treat her with disrespect and abuse her. She would starve her and beat her. There are many things that happen to people daily within human trafficking, and they are subjected to abuse and torture, just like Lakshmi was. They are also unable to get out themselves and will need help from outside persons or organizations.
For our film, we watched Invictus, and after 27 years of imprisonment, President of South Africa Nelson Mandela faces the task of unifying a country divided by race. Only months since the end of apartheid, division still exists between the country's whites and blacks, and something Mandela must do to unify them. He comes up with the idea of having the international rugby team win the World Cup. He realizes the black supporters cheer on the opposing side when white Springboks take the field. This is powerful because he uses the sports to unify the nation